Good evening, everybody. This is Joanne Anquist with the League of Women Voters of LaPorte County and our candidate forum for LaPorte County candidates LaPorte County candidates, I should say. Yes, we're here tonight with some wonderful candidates and very eager to talk with them, and I know you're eager to hear from them. And we will start with our recorders, the two people running for recorder. Ella, would you begin with your introduction of 2 minutes?
Good evening. My name is Ella Bilderbeck, and I'm running for the office of recorder. I immigrated from Poland 30 years ago, and in 1995, my husband and I moved to LaPorte, his hometown. We raised our family here. I became an American citizen, and I made this country my home. I'm proud to be an American, and running for this office is my way to give back to the community that adopted me. I want to serve this county and its citizens to the best of my abilities. I relish the opportunity to give it my all to the office of recorder. I currently work at Walmart. I am manager of automotive department, and my job at Walmart involves record keeping, receiving and recording of deliveries, monthly audits, and record keeping of all transactions in hard copy and digital form. I held other supervisory jobs in my time with Walmart, and I'm confident that I am the right person for this job. In addition, I am active in my community, serving as the president of the City of LaPorte Historic Preservation Commission and a board member of LaPorte County Symphony Orchestra. I want to be part of making this county a great place to live and raise family by serving its citizens. And so I ask for your support and your vote on November 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now Lois Sasinski, running for the same office on the Democratic ticket.
I'm Lois Sasinski, and I'm running for re-election to the LaPorte County Recorder's position. I've been serving you as your current recorder since January of 2017. I filed to run for this position and was selected in a party caucus after the death of our late recorder, Barbara Dean. I've been a working mom and lifelong resident of LaPorte County and have previously served the taxpayers of LaPorte County for 12 years as a LaPorte County councilwoman. As far as my qualifications for the job, I'd not only like to cite my past experience serving as your current recorder, but I'd also like to point out that I bring 36 years of private sector office management, budget, and banking experience to the position as well. In the last 3.5 years, I've brought the Taxpayers Property Fraud Alert, which is a program provided at no cost to you to help protect your valuable investments, your property. Laredo Mobile, a program that allows you individually to search remotely. SWIFT, which is a program that provides the return of your recorded documents through electronic means. You can now use debit or credit cards in our office. And after much research, I chose a new backup system for our land records and recordings. It's both off-site and in the cloud, which was a godsend when LaPorte County government was hacked and their systems were held for ransomware. Your recorder's office was functioning. I increased the balance of the recorder's perpetuation fund as I started my term with only $47,000 in that fund. As of January of this year, I built that up to $520,000. State Board of Accounts say that we need to have a 7-year plan for running our office. Without a balance in this fund, that was previously not possible. For trusted leadership, I hope you consider voting to re-elect me, Lois Sasinski, as your next LaPorte County recorder. Thank you.
And thank you, Lois. All right, I'm going to the first question for Ella. Ella, what do you see as the very most important role for a recorder? What aspect of the job do you think is the most important?
I would say the accuracy. All the records are incredibly important. If it's not done right, the ownership of the property could be in question. So I would say the accuracy is paramount. And the county is doing a great job of keeping records. I'd love to be involved with that. I know that the records have been backed up all the way to 1900s. would love to have a part in preserving the rest of them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, and Lois, I know that you're very proud of many of the things that you've done, but what is it? What is the one thing that you were unable to get to last year that you'd really like to focus on in the coming year?
Well, that's probably an easy question, Joanne. The next thing I have in line and would like to do, and I do have the funding to do that without being a burden on the taxpayers, our equipment in the office, our computers and our monitors are having a very difficult time with the speed of the new softwares, etc. We are in dire need of an upgrade on our computers, on the girls' computers. They date back to around 2010 to 2012. And that is the next item on my list. Hopefully I can get that done by year end. If not, and I'm still in office or whoever comes in office, it really needs to be taken care of. So that's the next thing on my list.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Ella, from what you know of what it goes on in that office, are there any changes that you can see, especially with the filing system in any way, something that you would like to see changed?
Well, as you can imagine, my knowledge is not as extensive or not even near what Lois possesses, since she's been in the office for almost 4 years. As far as I know, there's one. I am a details person, so when I went on the recorder's website and clicked one of the links, I found that there's still a header of Barbara Dean still in the system. So if you go to print that form, it will still show Barbara Dean's name. Little things like that might not be necessarily crucial, but I feel are important, needs to be taken care of. So I would really have to be in the job and on the job to find out exactly what needs to be done.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lois, did you want to comment on that?
I'll take a new question, it's fine.
Okay. Your question then would be, what are the top 3 priorities for the recorder's office next year? You already talked about one, actually, or you could expand on that and add 2 more.
Well, first priority is equipment. That is the major goal. The next priority, I guess, is to every year I try to streamline the expendable part of the budget, such as supplies, toners, all the different softwares that used to be there, things of that nature. I try to streamline a little bit more every year, even though we're paying for it out of the perpetuation fund. Like to use those monies and build up that account so that the office can be run for 7 years independently if the need be there. And then I guess number 3 is just to enhance the knowledge of the general public on what we brought into that office, such as the property fraud alert program. There are banks and different things online where they're charging, say, $1.75 or $2 a month. This is a program that doesn't require a lot of personal information. All you need is a phone number and or an email account, and it will alert you that somebody has reported something with your name. And then you're at least advised someone has tried to do something with your properties. So I'd like to expand on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And moving on that, I'm going to pick up on that, Ella, and talk about if you are elected, how would you be certain that you're obtaining input from your constituents?
Well, the communication would be the key, and in this day and age, you have to rely on digital communication. Most people don't get the newspaper, which unfortunately has shrunk significantly. I would say the city website, the alert systems, fantastic. We can connect directly with constituents who are signed up for the program. And the website could be expanded to where the alerts could be sent out if the person signs up. Let's say not necessarily just to do with the properties and personal protection, but anything new would be then sent as a general alert, and the person could then be informed on what's going on in the county. And recorder's office.
Okay, thank you. Lois?
And I could respond on that question.
Okay, thank you.
Well, what I've found is we get a lot of phone calls in our office, personal communication from the many title companies, banking institutions that are searching title, reporting the deeds, things of that nature, attorneys, and they have no problem giving you positive or negative feedback. I am proud to say that, especially during COVID, we've gotten many compliments from title companies and workers on our performance during that time with the doors locked. But by speaking to them, it's always good to have advancements, but you need to be cautious as to what you're doing. It's always wonderful for enhancements in title searching. And then our annual State Board of Accounts meetings with our Indiana Reporters Association, all 92 counties, we meet once a year, and it's a wealth of information. Speaking with other recorders from different areas, they may have already tried something, did not. They may have a little bit of a better idea to make things more efficient in the office. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And closing already, you two just zipped through these 3 questions very well. Ella, you're closing?
Yes. I understand just how important the job of recorder is, despite the fact that quite often it's overlooked. It's crucial in many aspects. The ownership of properties, recording of deeds, all of it is incredibly important. And I want to be part of this. I want to learn on the job, just like any other job. I'm used to that. Walmart has tendency to flip on us all the time, so we're constantly learning and adjusting. And I feel that I can handle that. I can learn a new job quickly and be very efficient and have the opportunity to serve the citizens of LaPorte County. And I think that's something I look forward to. So I hope you consider me, despite the fact that my opponent has great credentials, and vote for me.
Lois, you're closing?
I understand how the offices in LaPorte County government should function as a team. During COVID, when government locked the doors to the public this April, the recorder's office was never closed for business. We were deemed an essential office. To keep us safe and operational, I separated my staff by sending 2 home with their computers for processing documents, and the other 2 staff members remained in our office. We continued to process all e-recordings, which are approximately 70% of our workload, and all other mail and deliveries. A fun fact is, with the doors locked, we processed a record of over 500 documents over our monthly average. I'd like you to keep me working to continue to improve your recorder's office. So for trusted leadership, I hope you consider voting to re-elect me, Lois Sasinski, as your next LaPorte County recorder. And thank you very much, ladies, for having this evening.
You are quite welcome, and thank you to both of you. We've enjoyed meeting you tonight and getting to know you better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
County commissioners, the 2 people running for that office. This is County Commissioner District 2, Jeremy Smith, and Rich Brozinski. Thank you. Okay, let's get to know you a little bit, Jeremy. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first, I'd like to thank the League for this opportunity. It's you guys do a great job of educating voters as to the choices they have, and it's something I look forward to every election cycle. Anybody that hasn't met me, I'm Jeremy Smith. I was born in Wisconsin, moved here to LaPorte County when I was about 2, when my dad came here to join a veterinarian's practice. Graduated from New Prairie High School in 1992, and then continued on to Purdue and Purdue University North Central to get my degrees. Got a degree in construction management and architectural technology. Currently, I live in Mill Creek with my wife and 2 sons, and we've got a couple acres and various goats and bees and chickens and other things, and that's kind of what we do when we're not doing some volunteer work. I've always planned to get into politics, but I kind of planned to wait for a few years. But this last year think caused a lot of people to reevaluate their goals and what they were going to do in the near future. And, I fall in with that. I think, there's been a lot of people start to get a little, frustrated with how some of the deals in the county have been handled. Property deals, ordinances, and things like that cause people to start taking notice of things going on. Then after the primary this spring, I noticed that there was only one candidate in the commissioner's election in my district, so I decided it was time to make a run for it. So that's why I'm here.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. And now Commissioner Brozinski, Rich.
My name is Rich Brozinski. I'm running for re-election as LaPorte County Commissioner. I was born in LaPorte, raised on a farm in Rolling Prairie. I retired from Nipsco after 37 and a half years, 30 of which I held several positions with the United Steelworkers of America. I'm a decorated veteran of the Vietnam War, member of the National Rifle Association, and I believe in the Second Amendment, and I'm opposed to big government. I served 8 years on the LaPorte County Council and in my 4th year as Commissioner. I've always been a supporter of 4-H, the Boy, Girl, and Cub Scouts. I'm a member of the Farm Bureau Association. I've been involved in several economic development projects, including the Kingsbury Industrial Park and the new ambulance base in Rolling Prairie. I'm a founding member of the LaPorte County Regional Sewer and Water District. I serve on the Plan Commission, the Small Animal Board, the Drainage Board, the Fair Board, the Pioneer Cemetery Board, the LaPorte County Veterans Advisory Board, and I've been a 21-year member of the LaPorte Mayor's Veterans Committee. Been a member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars for 31 years, hold their honor degree, also a member of the American Legion and the Air Force Association. And I was nominated to the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame. I was elected to the Board of Directors of the Indiana Association of County Commissioners and also on that legislative committee. I'm accessible by email, phone, or in person, either in my office or on location throughout the county. Been married for 27 years, have 1 daughter, 4 grandchildren, 1 great-grandson. I hope to leave a legacy of being dependable, accountable, and serving with integrity, living LaPorte County a better place than it was before I had the honor of serving as your county commissioner. And I appreciate the support from all 3 political parties.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Rich. Okay, Jeremy, your first question. What role do you see green infrastructure, the interconnected parks, nature preserves, bike paths, of playing in economic development?
I think a great example of that right now in LaPorte is the Chessie Trail. They've got that put through, and now you're starting to see some development, popping up adjacent to that. Unity Park at the end of that. These things draw people into the community, to ride bikes around, be able to walk and enjoy, some of the nature areas of LaPorte County, which, compared to some other parts of the country, there's no place that is more beautiful than LaPorte County. And that's why I have kept coming back after traveling across the country and visiting other places. There's no place like this, and to be able to showcase that, is a huge bonus to the community.
Thank you. Rich, when the Vibrant Communities process is complete, endorse, provide resources, and cooperate to meet their goals of their action agendas?
Yeah, I have sat in on some meetings with that, with the Vibrant communities.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does tie in with LaPorte County very well, as Mr. Smith indicated about our park system, about the trail systems that we have. One of our newer projects right now is a countywide Wi-Fi. We also, with the economic development going forward in the KOP area, which, by the way, it is actually moving. We're going to need more housing for people. All these things kind of tie together for the Vibrant Communities program, and I'm really happy to see that come to LaPorte County and to be an active part of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. How could you help ensure that the Nipsco coal ash ponds are closed in a safe and clean manner?
Well, one of the companies I've worked for in the past was actually a environmental engineering company. So I did pick up some experience, working with remediation and test wells and things like that. So yeah, we need to work with some outside management company to, and work with some construction to get that closed off and remediated, and make sure that there's no water quality issues and we don't bury something and end up with a Newport Landing situation where 50 years down the line we discover that there's huge tracts of pollution that we can't do anything with. I'm a big proponent of getting it cleaned up now when we know we've got a problem instead of hiding it for the future.
Thank you. Rich, what's your opinion on how to keep Michigan City affordable for homeowners and renters?
We have depended on that blue chip casino for so many years, and Michigan City especially takes advantage of the funds provided there. We've got to get out of that. We've got to get a better system there, and I don't mean by raising taxes. Maybe more affordable housing, maybe incentives to bring more companies, higher paying jobs to the area, and we need to maybe expand on the lake shore, which is a huge resource to the Lake Michigan shore, to Michigan City, and expand our the tourism in that area, because it is really a tourism destination.
Okay, thank you.
Can I answer that question?
Certainly.
Currently, I'm working for a real estate developer, and we actually are developing some property right now. There's a huge demand for property in this area, especially with some of the political problems they're having in Illinois and Michigan. People are starting to look for places that are a little more a little safer, don't have the constant political issues of rioting and stores getting broken into. Right now, and it's amazing the amount of people that are looking for homes, and we need to figure out a way to get more developers involved and make it attractive for them to start projects here and make it easier and streamline the whole process. Don't, like Rich said, raising taxes is not the answer, and I don't think tax abatements are either. There's got to be some easy solution that accomplishes everything.
Thank you very much. All right. And now we could do our closing. Rich, you could start the closing.
Okay, I want to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this event. I want to also thank my fellow citizens for their trust they've shown in me over the past 14 years. As the only commissioner that doesn't have a full-time job, this is my job. And I do the job because I love LaPorte County and I want to see it prosper, future generations. We have seen great progress over the last 4 years, but there's still so much to do, and I'm up for the job. As your county commissioner, I will continue to be accessible, continue to develop new and better products and projects that will help keep LaPorte County a leader in this great state of Indiana. I'd be honored to be your county commissioner for the next 4 years, and I respectfully ask for your vote. It's the first chance I've got to meet my opponent, Mr. Smith. Nice to meet you, sir. I wanted to tell you personally, I think you handled yourself very well today. So thank you, League of Women Voters.
That was very nice. Thank you, Rich. Yes. And Jeremy, your closing.
Okay. Well, I'd just like to ask the residents of LaPorte to, consider a libertarian this fall. Rich, he's done a lot of good things, and I hesitated running against him, but there's some changes we need to make, and sometimes a change of ideas is good. I'd like to thank again the League of Women Voters and everybody that's tuned in to put this together. This is a good thing, and I'm sure a lot of people will have their decisions made. And thank you, Rich. I wave at you every day when I drive past your house, so I'll one of these days I'll have to stop by and we'll have to drink some iced tea or something. So
Please do.
So thank you again, and I look forward to seeing the final product.
Thank you. Okay, then our next two are the two women running for the county clerk position. Specifically, it has a longer title, but I think we know them by county clerk people, and that would be Heather Stevens and Kathy Krovak.
Who are we starting with?
We're starting with Heather.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry?
I said, that's you. Since we changed your name back. Okay.
My name is Heather Stevens. I am running for LaPorte County Clerk. I am 44 years old. I am married. I've been married for, I think 10 years. You'd have to ask him. He keeps track of that. Between the two of us, there are 4 kids. We live on a farm. The kids are grown and out, so now it's all on us. We don't have our helpers anymore. I currently work as the voter registration co-director for the LaPorte County Republican Party. I've been there for 3.5 years, and I've learned so much. I absolutely love it. I'm excited. I'm very excited for this election. I love elections. I love election law. I think you're gonna find that out. I think I talk about it a lot. So
Okay, thank you very much. And Kathy, how are you this evening?
Hi, Joanne. Thank you.
Hi. Good.
Thank you for hosting this evening.
Well, we're delighted to have everyone here. It's going very well. We enjoy it.
I'm Kathy Krovak. I am currently the Circuit Court Clerk, and I'm running for re-election. I come into this job, I've been in the clerk's office for 9 years, and I came into the clerk's office with 13 years experience in a law firm, which was very helpful when you work with the courts. The clerk, a little background about the clerk, they deal a lot mostly with the judges and the courts. We process filings that come in through our office for courts. We have 5 judges and 3 magistrates. The clerk's office processes the paperwork. It's all electronic now, and it goes up to the courts for signature approval. It comes back down for further processing. Filings for the clerk's office, we do divorces, estates, civil matters, criminal matters, guardianships, protective orders. We issue marriage licenses, we take bond money, child support. A lot of people don't understand a lot of the things that the clerk's office does. About 20% of my job is administrating the election process, and about 80% of my job is running in unison with the court system. We are about the first person that people see when they come into the courthouse most times, sometimes by accident, but most times they're there to either take care of a situation, pay some money, find out what they need to do with the filing process. I am excited to run for my next 4 years. I hope that the folks out there will support me. I look forward to serving the people of this community for 4 more years. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Heather, your first question. Heather, as a result of the problems in Porter County with their November 2018 election, the county government responded with bipartisan reform supported by the state legislature. Have you considered any of those acts that Porter County, or any of the changes that Porter County made, any of the reforms, and have you considered some of those for something that would be, that you'd like to implement if you're elected?
Yes. In fact, I believe that Porter County has gone to a Board of Elections and Registration. I think beforehand, I think that the voter registration office was under the county clerk in Porter County. So they've since done away with that. And now there's not just voter registration like we have here and then a clerk running the elections. It is the Board of Elections and Registration that are running the elections. And actually, State Rep Jim Pressel and I, we looked into this a lot in 2018, and this is absolutely something that should be considered in LaPorte County. I'm all for it.
Okay, thank you. Kathy, would you direct the election board to implement feasibility studies to improve the registration, voting, and election systems in LaPorte?
I think that is a great question, and I believe the answer to that would be yes. And I have to tell you, back in 2017, when I first came in office, we did not have an election that year. I went before the county commission with our microvote, who handles our voting process, to look at doing vote centers, opening it up so that anybody could vote anywhere in the county, didn't matter, at these centers. It didn't matter where you lived. It was turned down because it was too expensive. That is on my agenda to do again next year, because next year is an off year again. And it's not something you can pull off in a year that you have elections. You have to be able to put it together when you're off on a year where you don't have any activity. So yes, I agree that that's something we need to look at.
Okay, thank you. Heather, would you recommend to someone to vote by mail? And if so, why?
That's a tough one. I think that if you are high risk for COVID-19, I think that if you are sick and cannot get out, I think that if you are elderly and really just don't go out much, maybe you don't drive anymore, I think that voting by mail is and can be very safe. I also think that if you are going to vote by mail, I think that you should request early. But to open it up to absolutely everybody, I think that that's a lot to process. I think that there is room for fraud, and I would not be in support of that.
Okay. Kathy, looking over everything that you do, and you named all the different aspects that I think probably surprised some people, what do you feel is the very most important act you have to take? Action.
I really believe for a clerk's office and a court, I think the bridging of the clerk's office with the court is very important. You can process at the clerk's level, and maybe there's a breakdown when it hits the court, or vice versa. And I think both the clerk's office and the judges, the chambers of all the courts in our county, need to work very closely with each other, and it helps the process. It helps the people who are filing, whether they're attorneys or it's a pro se filer. It helps us explain to them the process by which they're coming into the courthouse and the activity that they're trying to achieve. I think that is important because people don't understand any of it. And when they come in, they are just looking for some answers of how this is all handled.
Okay, thank you. Heather, how would you make certain that you are communicating with your constituents and getting accurate feedback?
So I am an open book. I think at this point you could Google my cell phone number. It has been the same for the last 13 years. It's not changing. It's everywhere. Call me. If I can't get to the phone, leave me a message, send me an email. You'll see me at work. You'll see me at a local restaurant. Approach me, talk to me. Again, I have no issues talking with anybody. So just reach out.
Kathy, people are also asking about voting and COVID. Do you believe that voters will be safe voting this election, considering all the precautions we have to take?
Oh, absolutely. We were able to put an election together in the spring. We had early voting, and then we had poll voting at the 84 different polling places. The state of Indiana was very helpful. They sent us pallets of PPE, 3 pallets loaded of PPE, gloves, spray, wipes, disinfectant, you name it. We had shields, you name it. They have since sent us 3 more pallets on Friday, and we have instructed all of our poll workers how to use it. We didn't have that I am aware of, and nobody complained that we had anyone, either a worker or a voter, at any of the precincts on election day or even during early voting that either came down with an illness, felt threatened by it. We had the floors marked out 6 feet all the way out of the room, and inside the room, everything was separated. It's not going to be any different for the election. Absolutely safe.
Thank you. Heather, we're ready for your closing if you'd like to start that.
Okay. So I'm going to keep this very brief. My personal belief is that and I don't want anyone to think that I think that the clerk's office just handles elections. I'm well aware of what the clerk's office handles. My opinion is that the basic job of your county clerk is management skills. We need organization. It's data entry, and it's leadership. And those are 4 qualifications that I excel in. So I am asking for your vote on or before November 3rd.
You? Kathy?
Thank you, Joanne. I am looking forward to 4 more years. It's been a pleasure to serve the people. I've served the people for more than 20 years at different periods of my life when I served as mayor or city council person. It has been a challenge the last 4 years because we have completely overhauled our processing because the state has dictated that we now go to online filing and everything goes paperless. We went through great training. It's been very successful. It allows our office to be accessible to the public on a drop of a dime, and you can do that from home, from your home computer. So I am excited about the election, looking forward to serving the people for 4 more years, and I sure would appreciate their support. And thanks, Joanne, for everything you've done.
You're welcome. Thank you. I certainly haven't done it alone. You know me, I have a large crew behind me. We feel that educated voters are better voters. And I feel one of the very best ways to learn about candidates is a position like this where we could actually see and hear you. And we certainly enjoy it a great deal. And hopefully next year we'll be in the same room with you. We'll see. Thank you so much. And good evening.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.